Have you ever wondered where your favorite chocolate bar really comes from? Not a factory, not a store. It all begins deep in the green shade of a tropical cacao farm. Today, let's take a journey to discover the first step, growing the cacao tree. It all starts with a tiny seed, the cacao seed. Farmers carefully choose the healthiest ones and plant them in soft nursery bags. They water them, protect them from too much sun, and watch them grow every day. After a few months, the baby trees are knee-high, ready to face the real world. Cacao trees don't like too much sunlight. They're shy, just like a child hiding behind their mom. So farmers plant them under shade trees, like bananas or palms. It keeps the soil moist, the air cool, and even gives extra fruit to sell. Win-win! They trim every branch, feed the soil, and protect the trees from bugs. Because every cacao pod is a sweet treasure waiting to grow. After 3 to 4 years, the trees finally start producing fruit. The pods grow right on the trunk. How wild is that? When they ripen, they turn yellow, orange, or deep red. That's the signal. The chocolate journey is about to begin. Cacao pods don't grow like apples or oranges. They grow right out of the trunk and branches, and each one is a little different. The farmers know, just by looking, which pods are ready. When they turn bright yellow or deep red, it's time to pick. Now comes the fun part, cracking them open. After opening the pods, farmers scoop out the beans, which are covered in a sweet, sticky pulp. This pulp is key. It starts fermentation, where heat and wild yeasts begin changing the beans. They pile the beans into boxes or wrap them in banana leaves for 5 to 7 days. As they ferment, the beans heat up, turn brown, and start to smell like chocolate. Farmers turn the beans every day or two to keep the process even and smooth. After fermentation is done, it's time to dry the beans under the sun. Farmers spread them out on large mats or drying racks. They let the sun do the work, slowly drying the beans until they feel hard and light. This whole process is key. Without fermentation and drying, the chocolate flavor would never develop. It's nature's recipe, and the farmers are the careful chefs guiding it along. Now that the cocoa beans are dry, it's time for their journey to the chocolate factory. First, the beans are roasted. This step brings out the deep, rich chocolate flavor we all love. After roasting, the beans are cracked open. The outer shells are removed, and what's left are the cocoa nibs, the good stuff inside. These nibs are then ground into a thick, dark paste called chocolate liquor. The factory presses some of that chocolate liquor to separate the fat, called cocoa butter from the solids, which become cocoa powder. Now that the chocolate is smooth and shiny, it's ready to be shaped. In modern factories, everything is super precise and super fast. Big machines pour the liquid chocolate into molds, some shaped like bars, others like little squares, balls, or fancy pieces. Each mold is filled with just the right amount. Then the trays are gently shaken to remove bubbles and spread the chocolate evenly. Next, the molds go through a long cooling tunnel. Here, the chocolate slowly hardens and gets that perfect snap. Once it's solid, the chocolate pops right out of the molds, perfect and ready to go. Did you know that button mushrooms are the most widely consumed mushroom in the world? With over 1 billion pounds harvested annually just in the United States? These little white wonders might look simple, but behind every perfectly packed mushroom on your plate is an incredible journey of high-tech growing, precise harvesting, and careful processing. Join us as we dive into the fascinating world of button mushroom production from factory to table, faster and fresher than ever before. You might not know, the journey of a button mushroom actually begins with compost. And not just any compost, it's a special blend made from straw, which acts as the perfect growing base for these tasty little fungi. Among the various types, wheat straw is by far the most commonly used. Before mixing it into the compost, the straw is soaked in water to soften it up, making it easier to break down and blend with other organic materials. After soaking the straw, the next step in growing button mushrooms might sound a little odd. You mix it with chicken or horse manure. But that's not all. Gypsum gets added too. It helps keep the compost from getting too sticky and balances the pH, which makes the whole mix easier to work with and better for mushroom growth. Look at these incredible chocolate wrapping machines. They're fast, precise, and honestly, a little mesmerizing. Each chocolate piece zooms down the conveyor belt, one after another. Robotic arms and rollers pick them up, wrap them in foil or colorful wrappers, and seal them up in just a split second. Some machines even twist the ends like classic candy, while others pack them neatly into boxes, all perfectly lined up. Once the chocolates are perfectly molded and cooled, it's time to pack them up. But it's not done by hand. This job belongs to the robots. Robot arms move with speed and precision. They grab each piece of chocolate and gently place it into the box. No cracks, no smudges. Right after the mushrooms are harvested, they are gently loaded into large plastic bins via conveyor belts that help move them smoothly and quickly without damaging the delicate fungi. These big bins serve as temporary storage and transportation units within the factory. Then, about half of the bins filled with fresh, pristine mushrooms are transported to the packaging area. Here, the mushrooms are carefully divided into smaller, consumer-friendly portions. Once the button mushrooms are completely clean, they undergo a quick blanching process to preserve their texture and flavor. After blanching, some mushrooms are air-dried gently to remove excess moisture, while others are sliced into thin pieces. These prepared mushrooms then become the base for various cooked products or convenient ready-to-eat items, making them perfect for quick meals and delicious dishes. And here's the other half of the mushroom bins. They're sent to the sorting area where conveyor systems take over. Along these lines, sorting machines and scanners work together to carefully select only the best mushrooms. These top-quality mushrooms are set aside for further processing, ensuring that only the finest produce moves forward in the production chain. After sorting, the selected mushrooms go through a gentle washing process to remove any remaining dirt or debris, making sure they're clean and ready for whatever comes next in the production line. But chocolate isn't just for bars. It's also used as a smooth, shiny coating on candies, cookies, and all kinds of treats. And guess what? Machines do that too, with amazing precision. Treats move along a conveyor belt, heading straight into a chocolate waterfall. Yep, a real curtain of melted chocolate pouring down from above. As they pass through, each piece gets a perfect, even coat. The surface is smooth and firm, with a creamy white color that signals freshness. At this stage, the gills underneath the cap haven't fully opened yet, which means the mushroom is still young and tender, perfect for picking and eating. Once the casing layer has settled in and stabilized, it's time for watering and the recovery period. During this stage, the room is kept at a steady temperature between 22 to 25 degrees Celsius, and water is gently applied over the casing layer for about 6 days, around 20 to 25 liters per square meter. While all that's happening, the mushroom spores, or mycelium, start to grow and spread underneath the casing layer. After this recovery period, the fungus gets back on its feet and begins to develop. Next up is the budding stage. This is when things start getting exciting. The temperature gets dialed down to around 19 degrees Celsius to trigger bud formation. After about 2 weeks, you'll start seeing the first tiny mushroom buds poking through the surface. And by week 3, boom! They've grown big enough for harvesting. It's kind of amazing how fast they develop once the conditions are just right. After the compost has been mixed, cured, and sterilized, it gets packed into large rectangular blocks and loaded into growing bins, kind of like big trays or shelves stacked in layers inside massive growing rooms. But before the mushrooms start growing, there's one more key step: casing. That's when a layer of moist peat moss mixed with limestone is spread over the compost in the bins. This case layer helps retain moisture and triggers the mushrooms to start forming. Workers become mushroom detectives, carefully scanning each little cap for the perfect pick. With nimble fingers and trusty small knives, they swiftly snip off the base. No wasted time, no bruises, just smooth, precise moves. It's a delicate dance between speed and care, quickly spotting any imperfect spots, gently trimming them away, and making sure only the freshest, fluffiest fungi make it to the next step. In some modern mushroom factories, high-tech harvesting machines and automatic mushroom cleaning systems take over much of the heavy lifting, making the job a whole lot easier. But in places where harvesting is still done by hand, Harvest Day is a lively, buzzing scene. Button mushrooms are super easy to slice because their flesh is soft and delicate. These little mushrooms are incredibly versatile in the kitchen. They're perfect in pasta dishes, stir-fries, omelets, salads, soups, and sauces. They also shine as tasty toppings on pizzas and burgers, or simply sautéed with butter, garlic, and herbs as a delicious side, especially paired with grilled steaks and meats. Flavor-wise, button mushrooms bring a mild but satisfying umami taste, which is a savory blend of earthy, meaty, and brothy notes. Button mushrooms are packed with beneficial nutrients like vitamins B and D, minerals such as selenium and potassium, and dietary fiber. Low in calories and fat, these mushrooms are a healthy addition to many meals.